Hey there, gamers. DreamCast Guy here.
Whoa. Slow it down.
Today we're talking about Marathon, about Destiny, because the biggest Bungie YouTubers are now saying they are going to actively kill Marathon. I'm actually seeing people say they'll
Let's go!
literally refuse to talk about Marathon. They're going to start it. They won't play it. They won't stream it. Even I've seen some of the biggest Destiny YouTubers straight up saying that if Bungie approaches them, if PlayStation says, hey, we want to do some sponsored videos, they'll turn down thousands of dollars because they literally at a point where they just want Marathon to die so badly. And a lot of this comes down to a very active...
I'll take the thousands of dollars instead.
The fact that now Bungie is just about to have these massive layoffs. Bungie is about to practically be shut down, and the only developers left, they're not going to be working on Destiny 3. They're not working on new live service projects. They're only going to be Marathon. They've gone from this massive studio, something that made some of the best games of all time, including the original Halo games, to now being a Marathon maintenance crew. And a lot of people are pissed. A lot of people are really putting this on Sony themselves and saying that, I can't believe that Sony is just too cheap. According to the leaks, specifically, Sony said that Destiny 3 isn't worth making, but somehow Marathon is. Let's take a look at the anger, because there is a clip from literally the biggest Destiny YouTuber on the planet saying it's time to murder this game. Let's get into it. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, yesterday they released the first teaser trailer for Season 2 of Marathon, and I gotta admit that I feel very conflicted about Marathon. I've played 100 hours of it. I don't actually think that Marathon's a very good game. I'm in this weird spot where I kind of am morbidly fascinated by it because this is such an expensive project. Hundreds of millions of dollars. I think the game visually is absolutely gorgeous, and I look at this next season, it's gonna have some sort of like maybe zombie players to it where sometimes people will die on the map and come back. That's cool, but people are like, okay, unironically, Bungie people say that they've lost their soul, that Marathon is bad. Meanwhile, they're putting out trailers like this. This game is objectively beautiful. In my opinion, I think this game is absolutely gorgeous. I love it, but it's just not fun to play. An extraction shooter.
It's not fun to play? I thought he loved it, dude. He was having so much fun playing it when it came out. Put in like 100 hours, bro. Now it's no longer fun? What happened? What changed with poor sweet Marathon? Prose Edda is unbiased original stories. Poetic Edda is later fan fiction, written by an Icelandic Christian who inserted Christian themes and parallels like Ragnarok and Thor having red hair. Interesting. Yeah, I'll take a look. I mean, maybe I'll just order both. Why not? I'm sure they're not that expensive on eBay. I've been finding like some really, really good books on eBay for like $10, like leather bound, like 1930s and before copies of like ancient texts and shit. And it's actually been kind of cool. There's some deals out there, man.
It's just not a genre worth hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, right? But there's this. They also announced today that they're trying to do a free-to-play week. It really is very obvious. The player numbers are so bad.
Dude, they just need to make it free-to-play. I don't know why they're doing a free-to-play week. Just make that shit free-to-play. That's the only way you're getting people to even give a shit about Marathon.
Pretty much begging you on your hands and knees to give it a shot. They've also announced recently they're going to try a full PvE mode this season. I feel like I'm curious to see if anything can salvage even the player base at all. But now people are actively working against it. So this guy, Axon Cross, this dude, Axon Cross, is like literally one of the biggest Bungie YouTubers on the planet, by far. This guy has made like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos about every weapon, every talent, every raid, everything in Destiny 2. And this dude, for weeks, was very open-minded to Marathon. This is not a guy who refused to play it. This dude is actually one of the top Marathon players on the planet, like literally competes in tournaments and wins. And he is now saying it's time to kill Marathon. But let me start by listening to this, because honestly, some people are literally pissed about this. I want to take a look at the angry reactions to it, but let me start with this, right?
Okay. I know a lot of people that are not going to be playing Marathon Season 2 or Season 3 or whatever. I know a lot of people right now that from since last week's announcement have essentially completely walked away from Marathon. I don't want to play Marathon. I'll play it maybe seasonally. I may jump in a few weeks, but I want Destiny. I want Destiny 3. I want this universe expanded. And Marathon, if I have to fucking bury you myself to send that message, I shall. I will do everything I can to destroy you, piss on your corpse, and light you on fire afterwards. To send even the smallest of messages to Bungie leadership and Sony. I know what I'm saying right now won't bode well for me in the future. Believe me, we have Sony partnerships, sponsorships, and I appreciate playing those games and having those relationships. And from this point on, well, probably not going to be good in that aspect. But I want Destiny. So this is a personal decision. Probably not a good overall decision, but it's a personal decision. And I only got into this thing because of Destiny. So
I will burn it down and pee on the ashes. I mean, that's pretty explicit. I mean, literally in the definition of the word. And a lot of people are saying, vote with your wallet. Disregard sponsorships. Do what you feel is right for you. I completely agree with Cross. If there's no Destiny 3, then there's nothing Bungie can make that'll make me want to play another Bungie game. Now, I feel a bit mixed on this because a lot of people are, I feel like, going in such a weird direction of this. You need to understand your influence. I, too, am pissed and sad about the entire Destiny 2 situation, but the frustration you put out is amplified to an unhealthy level to your audience. These are Marathon developers' jobs you're playing with. It's not their fault. I guess I always feel weird about the fact that sometimes, obviously, this dude has over 1 million subscribers. I've got like 250,000 subscribers. So this dude's like 5-6 times my size, audience reach and everything like that. But I feel like I always hate this like excuse of you have to be careful about how you phrase it. Oh, it's irresponsible to really voice your opinion. I feel like he is just genuinely saying, as a guy that put years of life, like this guy had something like 10,000 hours in Destiny.
That's actually kind of depressing to think about.
Destiny 2, and it's just literally being shut down. His anger, I think, is genuine. I feel like the fact that he's literally willing to turn down sponsorships, you can't say this dude is a faker. I think that, in a way, it is their fault. This is the fault of a company that tried to make such a hard pivot into a project that's niche at best. You know, I have put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours into a lot of games, but I've put about 5,000 hours into like World of Warcraft Classic. I think I have about 2,000 hours into Final Fantasy 14. Those games mean a lot to me, a lot to me, right? And in fact, if they just randomly today said they were shutting those games down, even if I'm not currently playing them, I would be deeply heartbroken. I think Final Fantasy 14 is such an interesting era of my life. I've got so many incredibly special memories with Final Fantasy 14. If they just decided to rip the plug and say, oh, we're putting all our money into some other random project, I would be heartbroken. Now, some people are trying to say that, oh, we're trying to force you to play Marathon. That's not going to work. And I feel like, again, that's also not sort of the sentiment. There's a difference between you should play Marathon and you shouldn't want Marathon to fail. And when I talk about this, again, I think it's a bad outcome for everyone if it does. But
it's mischief, dude.
I know it's never truly going to be embraced unless that PvE hits hard. I just don't see a way for Bungie to turn around anything. Destiny 3 isn't an option unless they go the crazy route of overhauling like Destiny Rising for a relaunch, and Marathon would practically need to become a completely new game for anybody to care about it. This is my thing, right, is that I think that Marathon is incredibly fun from a bare bones perspective. I think Marathon has some incredibly tight shooting because it's basically Destiny combat. It's got some incredibly cool character design and spatial abilities, but it's just not well built. It's just not a long-term game. And I think a lot of people are sort of saying, okay, if our options are support Marathon, so hopefully we get a Destiny 3 eventually, or vice versa, keep playing Destiny.
I think he just became a Twitter poster. I have no idea, to be honest.
Even though it's a dead game, keep playing Destiny 2 and participating in it, even though it can't advance anymore. Show people that the player base is still 10 times bigger for Destiny than in for Marathon. Maybe we'll get a Marathon 3. I feel like both of these options are so apocalyptically bad. Cross will not be playing Marathon Season 2 because of this, and it indicates he's going to turn down future Sony sponsorship. Says he's not declaring war on Marathon, but I mean, it sort of sounds like it. I'm going to be Captain Petty for the rest of the year. This is the thing, right? He isn't totally wrong. Marathon doing a well likely guarantees that Destiny 3 will not exist. Apex Legends coming out and being so big guarantees we'll never see a Titanfall 3. There are two bad options, but Marathon burning is the worst one. A lot of people are basically saying that right now there is a strong chance that Bungie may not die specifically. Bungie will probably exist in some form or function. They're not just going to go in and shut the lights down, but it's very obvious that what Sony expects out of Bungie just isn't going to be done. Bungie is not going to randomly be as big as they were during the heights of like the final shape and stuff. Destiny 2, as big as it was, it's done. They could have salvaged it. They could have done stuff to recombobulate it, rework it, make it more functional, but instead they're deciding to just quit. They're literally just saying, hey, right now, either absolutely love Marathon or quit. And a lot of people are just choosing quit. And this option is only going to lead to the death of Marathon. It's going to lead to the death of Bungie. Maybe not explicitly. Maybe Marathon as a studio will continue to exist as a shell of its former self. But if you're wanting Destiny 3, I don't think the people that made Destiny 2 are ever going to get a chance to touch it. I feel like I'm going to still try Season 2 of Marathon because honestly, I'm still curious about it. But at this point, if everybody boycotts it, I don't think they're even wrong. I think that honestly, if you're a Destiny fan, not playing Marathon is the correct option at the very least. But these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts. How do you feel about the state of Marathon and the death of Bungie? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to...
Let's see. Ricardo Comstock's with the 5. Just from watching Kino Casino, I think PPP might be a legit multi-generational talent on the mic. He is a legit super talent. This fascinates me. Yeah, he is very good, man. So he definitely does have, natural talent for sure.